Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here with Liz Trotter. This is Smart Business Moves. Monday, March 1st.
Woohoo! March
Dang.
already. Isn't that crazy?
In
Oh,
2021, March 1st.
yeah. Versus
You,
what?
you know what we were doing a year ago?
We were panicking over COVID.
No, 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 not
Not
yet.
yet?
We were talking about it
Eh,
like, you think this thing's going to get bad? It really hadn't. Things didn't really start shutting down until a couple of weeks from now. Once we get into the
eh,
middle of March, that's when things really started. It's like, holy cow, this is real.
this is real. Yeah, I think now, like the beginning of March, there were still a lot of people that were still like, what the heck? Like we deal with the flu every year. Why are they making such a big deal out of this? What is going on?
It's
Although to be to be fair, I think there are still those people out there.
well, yeah, maybe, but well, no,
There are.
for sure.
Yeah,
But
but there were a lot of them.
the widely held perception March 1st a year ago was this is another flu, no big deal. People are overreacting.
Yeah.
It was like, do you really think they'll close schools down? I remember those
Oh,
discussions,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
this is kind of where we were you know at that point. Something happened. When you roll the clock back a year
Yeah.
ago today, something happened over the next couple of weeks that just completely turned this thing upside down. You know what it was? I think a lot of it was what was happening
Uh-uh.
in New York City. People were
Then what?
watching
Oh,
what was happening in New York, because
no,
that
no.
was when
Remember, Seattle was first. Don't you
Seattle
remember
was first.
the
Seattle was
retirement home?
first. But oh yeah, you had a nursing home that a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And when that happened, so many people died so fast that it was just, and right after that came New York. It was like, whoa, whoa, okay.
And,
What's
and
going on now?
and that was the first that we heard about. Well, gee, they don't know what to do with the bodies, and
Yeah.
like, oh man.
Wow, this is a lot worse than we thought. And it happened really fast. I think everybody was still kind of in shock.
And
Hey,
nobody
Teresa. Hey,
knew,
Linda.
and nobody knew how the stuff spread either.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
at this time a year ago, we were told don't wear masks.
I know. Yeah. That's really what we were told. Do not wear masks. Yeah. And that we were really going to be causing bigger problems if we did wear masks. Yeah. This time, I think this time last year, you couldn't get respirators already. I think it was already starting.
Oh yeah, I remember making some purchases and had some people questioning, my judgment. It was like, I'd rather have this stuff and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, crazy. And on the one hand, it's like it was only a year ago, but on the other hand, it seems so long ago too. It's
And
like, wow.
we didn't even know there was going to be any type of assistance from, the federal government in
No,
terms of, PPP and idle and all that stuff. It was like, man, we're just flying
tread
naked
water
here.
here.
We got
Yeah.
nothing.
It was actually really scary at that time because things were shutting down. It was getting real. And customers, not yet, not this early, but it wasn't long before customers started skipping all their cleans and going on hold. And it was just like every day, the, the email, the phone calls, it was scary. It was really scary. But we survived that part of it. Now the numbers are looking so much better.
Oh yeah, and
Even since Friday or Thursday when we looked at them last, they're looking better. It's like, wow.
the numbers are getting better. The J&J vaccine is going to be rolling out.
Yeah.
Before long, there's going to be more vaccine. There's going to be people that want it.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's
and
been
then,
big.
then we just got to figure out what's next.
Yeah.
It's not going to go back. It's not going to go back to the way it was before COVID.
It's not going to go all the way back. There will have to be some new stuff in place. But I'm also a firm believer that there will be some better and better opportunities for us, and just things will be better than they were before. I just don't know how yet. There
Yeah,
will be more
we
avenues.
yeah, we've learned a lot. I think that we're
Mhm.
just more from an overall economy standpoint. We're more efficient.
Mhm.
Um, I think it could be bad news for certain industries. I don't know if we'll ever be using as much office space as we did in the past.
This is great for money, right?
Yeah,
Lower overhead, awesome. Or what we would call expenses, right? Fixed expenses.
right. Operating expenses.
Yeah,
Get those things down.
yeah. Red number right there. So that's good. I do think that somehow that we are going to be having other recreational opportunities are going to pop up too, because I don't know what those are going to be, but they're going to have to come up with more things. People demand, especially in the United States,
More,
we
more,
demand recreation.
more and more states, and even at the federal government level, are legalizing more recreational drugs. So
That's true. Well, maybe that's where things are going.
there
Oh,
you
you can't
go.
leave your house. Here, we're sending you pot. Expect it in your account automatically. It's coming in the mail.
Yeah, an extra $1,400 for recreational drugs. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking before we went live that Friday night the House passed the next round of stimulus. It's in the Senate now, and they're going to be voting, I guess, later this week. I guess there was a sticking point where this $15 an hour minimum wage, I guess technically couldn't be in there based on the rules that the Senate's going to be using to pass the bill. So they've all agreed to take that out. It seems like the rest of that, though, is gonna go through, which means people are going to be getting $1,400 checks. States are going to be getting a bunch of money. A bunch of money is going to be flying around. So short run, the economy is going to be booming because there's just too much money and not enough stuff to spend it on. Long run, we'll see. But get your
We're
PPP
getting
two
extension on
employment.
unemployment here too. Yeah, yeah. We are going to be dealing with some hiring stuff because there's more extension on unemployment too. So
Yeah, yeah.
should be expecting that.
Oh, and if you got idle funds back last year, be checking your mailbox. You'll be
Getting your first bill.
are they gonna are they gonna send you something like every month to make a payment? How's that gonna work?
Well, you can pay online. I'm just going to set it up automatically.
Yeah.
My plan. Yeah. Submit payment using 1201 borrower payments form. So I don't know. I'm going to be just setting it up through the bank, just automatically send it. Be easier.
Crazy.
So still waiting on your $600 check? What $600 check, Linda?
That was back in the end of December. They were sending out $600 checks.
Oh, okay. I didn't even remember that. I probably never saw it. Tim probably got it. So we got $1,000 first round, right? Didn't we get?
I think it was $600 again, maybe
Oh, it was.
per
Oh, okay.
person, maybe. I
Okay.
could be wrong. Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't remember. That was so long. That was a year ago.
They're giving us so much money we can't even keep track of it. I don't know. It's a chunk of change.
Yeah.
And now we're all getting $1,400. Okay. Well, just think, Linda, when it catches up to you. So 1,200 first round.
Well, was it? Okay.
All right. I thought it was 1,000. Apparently, I didn't appreciate it enough. I only appreciated $1,000 worth. Well, more money's coming this time, 1,400. So I think right now Biden just can't let Trump show him up with
He's
how
going to give away more
generous he
money than
was.
his predecessor, right?
That's right. He can't be shown up by Trump for generosity. 1,200 plus 600 and 1,400 now. All right, Katerina. All right, she's got the real skinny there. 1,200 and then 600.
Yep.
All right.
It all adds
Chunk of
up.
change. Yeah, chunk of change right there. All right. Well, we're gonna get to our KPIs today.
Yeah, we're
the last week, y'all.
We're on the downhill side of this. We're going to wrap this up this week, maybe even before a third. We might be done today. Who knows?
Tom is so sick of KPIs. He never thought he'd say that.
We might be done in the next 10 minutes. But and then we'll move on to what's next, right?
Yep. All right. So you guys, because we are wrapping everything up this week for sure with KPIs, let us know any questions that you have currently about KPIs, what that might mean, how we can be helpful in this last week. What else can we do? What would you like to talk about? Is there anything we missed? Or is there anything that you'd like to talk more about? Let us know. We do have stuff that we need to talk about, but if you have something you want to hear, let us know and we'll talk about that as well. Also, Tom, don't we have an offering or something we're going to give everybody at the end of the week? Are we going to talk about that today?
You'll have to refresh my memory.
Send it to you in Messenger.
It's been a long week. And
it's been tough, y'all.
Do you hear that hammering going on?
I did. You have more termites?
Well, I don't know if I have more. I don't know if I have any less. Anyway, if I just like fall right through the floor, you'll know what, if I just disappear, you'll know what happened.
But usually hammering is because they're making things stronger, not weaker, Tom. So we're going to go with that.
Yeah, that's true. We're making progress.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about revenue and all the things that contribute to revenue, because at the end of the day, it's about revenue minus your variable cost, your cost of goods sold, which in its simplest form is your loaded direct payroll. And, take the difference between the two, that gives you gross profit. And from your gross profit, you take your operating expenses, and that's your net profit. And the more that we, I guess, go bubble back up and focus on this, the easier it is to generate profit. Everything really needs to point back to this. So these are our green numbers and our red numbers, and everything that's highlighted in blue basically contributes to what our revenue is. And today we're going to be talking about these up here at the top. They're all associated with the green numbers. We've talked about the bill rate for a couple of days because there's a whole lot there. But what we really want to talk about today is on the sales side. We want to talk about leads, quotes, sales, and high frequency recurring revenue. When most of us start in the cleaning business, this is kind of, I guess when you start, you're kind of trying to figure out, where to get a deal on a vacuum cleaner and, how to clean a home. But you get past that pretty quick. And then it's all about this stuff, isn't it?
Yep. And I guess after the vacuum cleaners and stuff, then you actually start with the guerrilla marketing, right? Starting to figure out what are some really low cost ways that you can get some leads and start doing some quotes. And so we hear a lot about that as well. People want to know, what can I do that's not going to cost me much money? And then once you sort of run through all of those options, then you start looking at, all right, now I'm probably going to have to start paying for some leads. And then that's a little bit different too.
And a lot of decisions are really driven by what's it cost? Because, you're not making any money at the early stages. You're, very well might be burning cash. So, what's it cost today? A lot of times takes priority over what we would say is lifetime value.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you've got the money, if you spend more up front, you get more, more value over the lifetime of whatever it is you're buying. But when you're starting your business right from day one, if you got limited capital, forget about the value over the lifetime. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to, keep the lights burning this way.
I just need to get some money in here, which is why a lot of people, focus a lot on those guerrilla marketing techniques, because they have to. They don't have money to spend or money to burn, and you are burning some cash when you start paying for leads. You're going to have to be, because until you know what works in your area to get leads, you're going to have to be measuring, and you're going to have to be, putting some money out there and finding out, yes, this worked, no, this didn't work. And it would be so wonderful, wouldn't it be wonderful if you could just get an answer on a Facebook page or in a Facebook group? What do you spend on marketing? And then just know that that's how much it's going to cost you and where you should spend your dollars, because it's always going to be the same, but it's not. Where what's going to work in your area is different than what's going to work in mine, possibly. And a lot of times those things are different. E. U-E, Tom. Instead of G-U-A. There you go. But you got the double L. Good job. And I'm glad you didn't do G-O-R.
Gorilla.
You're like a gorilla or chimpanzee. Yeah.
So at the highest level, we'll break marketing down into three buckets. I'll call, we know what digital, marketing is. That's everything that's happening with SEO, and you can just drill down into this. We could spend a week just talking about digital marketing, but we're not. Every time I say that, we're not.
Don't worry.
Analog marketing, which is the old school stuff, and that can be, door hangers, that can be, right, buying advertising and any type of print, whatever.
The local magazines. We should probably list some of these things on here, Tom. So while you're talking, analog.
Do we need that? I mean, think people, we all know what these things are, right?
I don't think a lot of people are familiar with the term analog. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Well, you might, I don't know, you might be. It's just, I'll say print, and that can be a lot of different things. Local media. What are we talking
Radio
about?
Stations, newspapers, those little like community value magazines. I guess that'd be print.
TV, cable, I mean, there's a wealth of stuff out there. I mean, door hangers is always a go-to. And there's a lot of variations.
Postcards.
Yeah, direct
mail. Like EDDM. Yep. All right. You guys have more analog ideas that we should stick on here? Different places that people should be looking? Hey, Denise. Good to see you.
So in a lot of these, the medium, what we're talking about is the medium, and that's part of it. Say, hey, I want to do everyday direct mail. That, that might be an awesome idea, but the execution oftentimes is what determines the value that's created from it. You know, you can have a great medium and a great market, and you might even know who your target audience is. And if you have a bad message and no call to action and no, you know, reason to believe in terms of helping people understand why you're the company that they'd want to trust with a key to their home, then you know it's not going to work. So there's a lot of moving parts to this. But the flip side, not doing this and not having any, you know, not having the prospect of even getting any customers, because leads don't put any food on the table yet. This is just kind of the beginning of the funnel, if you will. Those are all things that we need to do. I didn't put yellow pages on there. I guess that's completely dead, isn't it?
I don't think there is yellow page. Yeah, I think that's it.
Actually, there is. Something showed up on my doorstep.
It's got to be like a decade since. Although this is weird, I heard somebody saying that they advertised in the yellow pages not that long ago. It wasn't in our industry, but somebody said that. I was like, what? Oh, and I guess there's also an online yellow pages.
Oh, yeah, there's an online, there's a digital version, but there's a print version. It's a lot, I mean, it's a lot thinner than it used to be.
Yeah, it's a little tiny thing.
Oh. Yeah, plumbers and plaintiffs' attorneys are still in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch Ellen? It's totally gonna take us off topic. Sorry, guys. So Ellen,
No.
She does these little clips that I watch them every once in a while. I think they're hysterical. She did one where she brought a gal out of the audience. And
is that like daytime TV? Is that like when we're supposed to be working?
Well, I don't watch it at daytime because it's not on TV. It's on, I guess it's on YouTube or Facebook stories or something.
Oh, I'm old school. You know, TV. Yeah. What channel? What's you know?
No, I don't really watch TV like that anymore. That is really old school. It was very funny. She brought like a 19-year-old gal out of the audience, and she put her in front of a rotary dial telephone, yellow pages, and a map. And she told her she gave her the name of some place and told her she had to find out where it was. She had to call them, and then she was going to have to map how to go there. And then she just tried to get her just to fold the map. It was very good. And the girl she picked was funny. And watching her try to dial the phone was hysterical. For anybody that is old enough to have used a rotary phone, you should check out that clip. It was hysterical. She was trying so hard.
The motor skills of putting your finger in the hole and spinning it around weren't, I mean, I never really thought that was a learned skill.
Apparently it was. While she was trying to do it, how was she doing it? Oh yeah, she was taking the thing and trying to turn it to the right number somehow.
She had no idea because she had no instructions. No, nobody showed her.
Yeah, it was funny to watch, especially if you're of the age where you used all of those things. And she had to try and find a muffler too, I think it was, but it was very funny. All right, back on track. Leads. So yes, no yellow pages. It's probably not a good use of your money.
Digital, do we need to talk about that? I mean, that's your SEO, you're paid.
Yep, I think we need to put at least some stuff in there so that people know what are some of the options. Not everybody knows exactly what are some of the digital options.
When you talk about SEO, there's so many parts of that. You've got your on-site stuff, which is basically making sure your website's put together in a way where it can be searched, and you got the right keywords, and there's stuff there that people would want to read. Then you've got your off-site stuff, which is your citations and your backlinks and all that stuff that.
So your terms are not clear, Tom. Instead of on-site, write website.
SEO on-site.
Or on-site -website something.
Okay.
Because that term is not commonly used. And off-site is backlinks.
Well, it is in the SEO world, but
we're talking about this to people. The whole reason we're doing this, remember?
Understand. Thank you.
I was like, I'm sick of KPIs.
Thank you for help. We might be done in the next 5 minutes, Liz.
Okay, so backlink on offsite, right?
Yeah, and and there's a lot more to it than just SEO. You've got all your paid leads, pay-per-click type stuff going on, where AdWords, and you got your social.
Write that. Nobody knows what PPC is. Tom.
I'm sorry.
You're in a hurry again. AdWords. Pay per click. Good. And yeah, AdWords is a good example. That's good.
Do I need to spell out what social media is, like Facebook?
Yep. And Insta, since that's popular right now. Probably put that in there. Good. All right, just some examples of digital, right? What else is there for digital, Tom? SEO, pay-per-click, social media.
Something that's on the horizon, which.
What about like Google My Business or something like that?
Yeah, that would kind of be under the paid.
PPC, okay. And I guess Google Guaranteed would fall under there too. I guess all the Google stuff.
I mean, Google My Business, I guess, is
free.
Yeah, that's important. So we'll certainly put that there. Something else that is.
Katarina has a question for you too, Tom.
Go ahead.
She wants to know: do you guys use blogs as part of on-site SEO? Do your blogs get more website visitors?
Your blogs can improve traffic to your website for sure. If you write blogs that have the right keywords and bring, people to your website, and all of that increases what they call your domain authority, and that will help you rise up in what they call natural search. So they call it page rank, and you'll rank higher. You guys hearing that?
We hear something. Vacuum cleaner?
No, it's a leaf blower.
This sounds like a vacuum.
They'll be done in a second.
Sounds like Janice is cleaning. She's got a cleaning company. She doesn't clean.
Yeah, there's a joke in there somewhere, but we'll let that go.
Smart move.
Yeah. Blogging, if it's done strategically, can be awesome, because you can have a lot. I mean, this is a whole nother discussion. But if you want to blog, there's more to it than just saying, hey, I want to write articles about stuff. I mean, that's a good way to start, but do Google, how to, your blog to improve your SEO, and it'll talk about, writing articles that include keywords that will, bring the right people to your website that would be looking for a cleaning company, for instance, and give you the opportunity to do internal backlinks on your website, which increases your SEO value.
How about next to on-site, where you have website, you can put blogs, so that
a lot of the off-link, a lot of this off-site stuff is really about citations and backlinks.
And
citations are
where
citations where you're getting listed in like a directory, like the Yellow Pages is a directory, and there's a lot of do's and don'ts with that. There's this thing called NAP, which is name, address, phone number, and email is a part of it too, but it just doesn't fit with the acronym. You want to make sure that's exactly the same in every, start off with what Google has for you and what you do in Facebook, and you want to use the exact same name. You don't want to say Castle Keepers Cleaning Company on Facebook and say Castle Keepers House Cleaning in Google, because that will hurt your SEO. And backlinks or other websites who have links going back to your website.
David's commenting on your backwards vacuum.
Yeah, they were blowing stuff around outside.
So I think he's right. That is a backwards vacuum. It doesn't suck, it blows instead. That's awesome.
One other thing I'm going to put here that it's not terribly huge at the moment, but it's out there on the horizon that it's going to be happening. It's basically like voice search. You know, Alexa.
Yeah, you've been talking about this for a while, Tom.
Yeah, and it's not, you know, what is the Google version of it? Is it just, hey Google? What do they call
Google
it?
Voice, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. No.
But you know, there are techniques for optimizing search with voice. So if somebody says, "Hey Alexa, find me a cleaning company," that you'll
they recommend you.
Yeah, that's the
They
whole
want
point.
them recommending you for sure.
What do we want to say about Gorilla?
Gorilla is, when I think about Gorilla, I think of things that are kind of more one-offish, that you might not be doing like routinely, repeatedly. You might be too, but they're not things that everybody is doing. They're more, for example, Paul Freed is a great guerrilla marketer. He, an example of one of the things that he does that I would consider guerrilla marketing is he has Frisbees printed up with his name, and hundreds of them. And he periodically just goes to the park and throws Frisbees out to people. He just tosses them a Frisbee and gives it to them. And then they keep the Frisbee and they throw it around and they get to know his company. What are some of the other things? He does so many things. He's gotten a lot of really unique ideas too. His bikes.
Take a bicycle with a sign attached to it and chain it up at
wherever.
A public bike stand that has a lot of people walking by it, and it sits there until somebody steals it.
Yep, and he buys just cheapy bikes and paints them all. He painted them his colors too, and then put his name on them. So that was interesting.
One of the things he does, I mean, he's extremely creative. Like he does billboards and stuff like that too. And I think some of that's market specific. That chaining a bike up to a bike rack works if you're in a metropolitan area. If you're in a more rural setting, it's probably harder to even find a bike rack. Do you guys have bike racks in Olympia?
If we do, we don't have very many of them.
Do you have mobile? Do you have like mobile phones?
Smarty pants. We actually have a new restaurant too, Tom. I meant to tell you.
I was like, get out.
Yeah, we do.
Burger King?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. 2021.
Yeah, we're excited. We're like, what? Chick-fil-A? We never thought we were going to get that. So we're excited.
Does everybody know what it is? I mean, do you have to explain to people what it's about?
Not everybody knows what it is, but you know, people like anything new here. So lines are long, you know. People will know soon. We're still riding high on the wings thing.
They have like double drive-throughs and the whole logistics of how they can, get people in and out. And they were the COVID, the emergency vaccination sites that they were setting up, like in the Charleston area. They had the owner of the Chick-fil-A franchise out helping them figure out how to get the drive-through lines working where they could give people shots more quickly.
Oh, wow. So apparently he knows what he's doing there, huh?
They sell a lot of chicken.
Yeah, yeah. And they're well known for it too. So, well, we're excited. We're going to have Chick-fil-A. Super exciting. I'm not sure if it's actually here or not. I heard somebody say something about ridiculous lines that they hadn't gone there. So I'm not sure if it was the local one or not. Referrals. Yeah.
I mean, there's low budget to no budget. You know, asking for referrals is about as good as it gets, especially when you're just starting out, because you know you have a really good relationship with your customers. You know them, they know you, and if you ask them for a referral, it's like if they're doing a personal favor for you, and that costs you nothing. And if you get a referral, the chances of turning that into revenue are pretty good.
Yeah. That really so much better than so many other things that you can do. So as far as guerrilla marketing, that's definitely probably the one that's going to get you the most return. I can't even think of all the different things that people do. So they,
I'm gonna pull door hangers down here again because that's kind of a low budget deal. And there's variations of that. I mean, you can just go out and canvas a neighborhood, or you can do, what do you call them? Five around,
six packs.
six pack.
Yeah. So those are great. Absolutely. You can get them done fairly
Explain what a six pack
reasonably.
is.
2 on the left, 2 on the right, 2 in front, 2 on the other side of the street.
So whenever
two houses.
Do you
Yeah,
develop
you're cleaning a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you develop a special door hanger for that says, "Hey, I just cleaned your neighbor's house"?
Yep, that's the most popular, right? And it still seems to be working for most people. So I know at least one business owner that is toying with the idea of putting the pricing for the house on the flyer, on the 6-packs. So your weekly just cleaned your neighbor's house, not saying what they paid for the neighbor, to get your house clean, it would probably cost somewhere in the area of $140, $120. Because a lot of these neighborhoods, I don't know about where you guys live, but where he lives and where I live, a lot of the neighborhoods have the same style and type houses, size of house. So yeah, it's not giving him a quote, it's just giving him an idea. So I'm looking at how that's going to work. He's thinking about like just writing it in for each house. I'm thinking I just want to have different ones printed out that are some of our basic price points, 120, 140, 175, whatever, 150, 175, and different neighborhoods get different ones. So I think that's definitely a good guerrilla marketing technique. Oh no, Tom left. He's like, I'm done with KPIs.
No, you gave me a really good idea, and I just wanted to write it down before.
Okay.
Okay.
Tom's like checked out, done with KPIs.
I'm done. I'll see you guys more. I had a meeting earlier today, and somebody used a profanity, and I had to stop the meeting. And it was rather long, actually. And I had to stop and ask, is that spelled as one or two words? I just want to make sure that I get this right in my notes. Oh my God. And as I was writing this down, I actually did write it down on my pad, so I'm chuckling.
That's funny.
Okay, so as far as lead generation, I mean, honestly, we could talk about this all week.
Yeah, we're not going to.
And we're perfectly capable of that.
Yeah, we are, but we're not going to.
We're not going to. Okay.
What are you guys using for leads? What's your where would like Yelp, Angie's List, those kind of things fall, Tom? Would that be under digital?
Well, those are review sites. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So curious what you guys are doing.
I mean, you get leads from them.
Yeah. That's where we get the majority of our leads. How about your vehicle? Is that analog or
Yes, definitely
Guerrilla?
List.
Yep.
Is a little bit different than lead gen. Lead gen's not even really marketing per se. You're just buying leads, which is really needs to be here though, but it needs to go back.
Get our vehicles on there too. Oh, it's getting tiny. I don't think anybody can really be seeing this now. I mean, well, actually, I'm on a much smaller computer than I normally am, so maybe it's okay.
Is that better?
It is for me. I can see it again. So anybody on here using any kind of anything to generate leads? If you are, what are you using? Home Advisor, there's another new lead gen place that I keep getting hit up with.
Home Advisor, I don't think there's many people that embrace Home Advisor as an awesome way to get leads for house cleaning.
No.
If anybody out there is
use
using them, let us know. Or if you
if
are,
it's working. Wasn't Leslie saying that she was having some decent luck with Home Advisor
could be.
back in the day? How about Porch or Nextdoor? What about Nextdoor? That would be more guerrilla.
It's more, yeah, that's more falls into social, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it is.
I mean, you can do paid advertising on all these things too.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
You didn't used to have any paid advertising on Nextdoor, so I wasn't thinking of that. But you're right. Right.
What are we missing?
I don't know. I just got a reminder that they're or an update to the time of arrival at my house. So I have to respond. Give me a second. They're going to clean my house.
Who you're? Is that okay?
This is my company. It's not a competition. Although I do like to send my competition to clean my house. Nextdoor never works for you. I know people that use Nextdoor for sure, and that has worked for. Same thing with Facebook. I know a couple people that Facebook works amazingly well for, but I'm not one of them. It's not me. You got to know how to use these things, right? The BBB.
Yeah, Better Business Bureau.
You get leads from the Better Business Bureau?
Do what?
Do you get leads from the Better Business Bureau? I'm using Derek's voice. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, I mean, people go there to like, or at least they used to. Maybe some degree they still do. I know that review sites have kind of taken a lot of that market. But that's when we talk about citations here. That's really a place where you'd want to just get a citation. You'd set up a listing there, like with BBB, and make sure that you get your company information right and matching exactly what you've got, like with Google and on your website.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
I got a no here.
I think she's talking about when I asked, do people get leads from the Better Business Bureau?
Well, I don't think you do directly. But
yeah. But I get what you're saying about the citations. Chamber.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
And networking. That's really good. We haven't hit any of that. That networking is probably under analog, digital, or Gorilla, or should that have its own separate thing?
I don't know. I mean, you can spend money for like BNI, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And all the different ones too. 40% of my leads come from Facebook. So you're one of those, Katerina. All right. That's awesome. 40 from referrals, 20 from Google organic search. And that's your website. So that's your SEO. Yep. And BNI. Yep. It's from BNI, the chamber. Yep. The networking. That's good. There's lots of different networking opportunities out there nowadays too, that are not just BNI, but they're BNI-esque, right? And we have a place called the In Team here. There's another one called Red Time or something like that. There are some online ones too that you can join where people share. Oh, what's that one that hits me up all the time? Referral Key. And then there's another one that is an online networking. Do you guys know the one? I wish it worked better for us too, Denise. Do you guys know that online networking, what's it called? It was really big for a while there. Every time you turned around, somebody was inviting you to join, and you join, and then it would send you a thing. Do you want to have coffee? Or do you guys remember what I was talking about? I can't remember what it's called now. Obviously, I'm not doing it, but I was for a minute. Anyway, that's more of the networking stuff. Yes, Denise, she remembers the coffee. Good job, Alignable. Yeah, that goes under networking, Tom. That was
Okay.
That was the online networking. I get a bunch from 2 Facebook neighborhood group referrals and Nextdoor. Oh, she's getting Nextdoor referrals. Yeah, 2 Facebook neighborhood groups. Oh yeah. So that is sort of the trick with Facebook. You can't just, or not, I don't know of people that have success just advertising on Facebook under their company name.
Like sponsored ads, that really, yeah, for local, that really isn't what you want to do. You want to build a presence and be a voice that you're, people want to listen to.
Yeah. Get into those groups that are having a lot of conversations, that are like moms groups, are real popular for cleaning companies. There's a lot of tricks for that I'm remembering so many tricks, but they all come out of the MMA group. So I'm like, I can't talk right now.
Just Trisha Lake's kind of an example of somebody where she creates her own mom's group in a new market that she goes in and gets a bunch of people to sign up, and she does contests and giveaways, and she does volunteer work and promotes that. Like they'll do food drives and giveaways, and all of that is kind of being promoted on her Facebook page, and it's great branding for her company, and she gets a ton of people following her. Yeah, it works really, really well for her, for sure. Stephanie Nessett also always had a lot of luck with Facebook. Oh, if you guys don't know, also Trisha's company is TLC Cleaning. So you might want to check it out, see what she does, because it works. And it works really well. Moms groups, moms groups still work in some areas. This is everything on this list here is stuff that works in some areas, but not all areas. Yeah, that's why you have to. That's where the work is to starting a business. Yeah, there we go. TLC Cleaning Fargo. She's got a couple locations. Oh my gosh, that little girl's cute. Are you kidding me? She has so many adorable
posts, and that girl, how
And
cute.
this is Fargo, North Dakota. I mean, Fargo, North Dakota has a population of not very many. And, she's got 10,600 plus people who like her page.
Yeah, her page is popular because she does do a lot of really cool, fun things on there. Let's see, what is her?
So everybody go to her page, like it. So that way you're helping her out. And then go ahead and take a look at some of the cool stuff that she does.
All right, so her population is 122,000. That's her big population. Oh, she's got me beat. She's 25% more than we are. Seems like a lot to me. All right. Yeah, she does so many cool things. So if you like Facebook, you want to make Facebook work, this is a good place to
What's
look.
Stephanie's company? Do you remember?
Yeah. More time for you? No, that's Craig's company. What is Stephanie's company? Let me look it up real quick. Anybody remember Stephanie's company? Stephanie Nessett? What the heck? Why can't I think of it? I know it very well.
Okay.
Sure I do. Sure I do. She's in Iowa. Iowa. Absolutely clean. But one of the things that I like that Trisha does really, really well, actually Steph does this too, is they pair up with other companies in their local market that are popular, and they create a neighborhood presence for themselves. And so they work together with the other businesses in their locations, and they feed off each other. I remember she did a great thing with the local animal shelter. They donated a bunch of food to the animal shelter for every like that they got. Yeah, they give back to the community. That they absolutely do.
So what would you call that? It's like cross promotion. I mean, we've done that with like massage, places and bakeries and dry cleaners and
I think that's networking.
That's kind of great. That would fall under guerrilla marketing, though, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And that can get into, we'll put together an email campaign and we'll promote both of our companies, and I'll send those emails to all my customers and all my leads, and you'll send the same email or something similar to all your leads, and
we share. We both get business. I remember Stephanie did this cool thing where you could stork somebody. So people would buy.
You could do what to somebody?
You could stork them. STORK. You could stork them. Yep, stork them. And so you would hire her company to stork somebody, and you could do whoever you wanted, a neighbor, a friend, and for however much you paid, depending on the price, how many storks you wanted, and they would go and not stork. Were they storks? No, flamingos. I think they were flamingos. Yeah.
They're different birds, Liz.
They're totally different birds.
A stork is something that that's where babies come from.
Yes, that's why I was like, okay, they're not storks, because I remember the storks with the little, and actually I think she did do the storks too, but that was for people that were having babies. But with the flamingos, she would, and I can't remember what she would call those, that promotion, but you could pay them. They would go to your friend's house, and depending on how many flamingos you bought, you would pound them into their yard. So they'd wake up in the morning and they'd have 15 flamingos in their yard. And of course they were all branded with absolutely clean. And so that got a lot of talk around town. I think it was written up in the paper or that kind of stuff. That was all over Facebook. People were like, who flamingoed me? And that's not what they called it, but they called it something else.
But isn't that kind of like, I mean, yeah, gee whiz. I mean, 2021, there's some people out there that would probably see that as an opportunity for a lawsuit, right?
I think that everybody saw it as very, very fun when she did it. And it wasn't that long ago that she did it. And I don't know that it would probably be too much of a lawsuit because they used those thin wires. It didn't really damage anything. And it was
Put a
supposed to
thin
be
wire
innocent.
through like your sprinkler, so, I mean, who knows?
Well, and it was the kind of the way they did it though was you were special if if your yard flocked. That's what they called it, flocked. So
I love the idea. It's
and they
cool.
would have a sign that was in the front that said, I've been flocked. And so that it was kind of a cool thing. It was like if you got flocked, it was like somebody loved you, somebody spent money to get you this flocked thing. So I thought it was a cute idea. Anyway, it was guerrilla marketing.
Hmm.
And it was a fun thing. She does a lot of very, very fun things. So to get the community talking again.
So should I put flamingos under guerrilla marketing?
That'd be flocking. You could. It's just anything that is guerrilla marketing is, in my mind, it's inexpensive. It's different than what people are expecting. It's not the same old, same old. It's just, something new, different. And that's why a lot of times it's not an ongoing thing because then it's no longer new and different. And now it's just part of your basic marketing. All right, what else are we talking about here? So we were just talking about marketing today, Tom? Sales, the different types of marketing.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about KPIs, I really think we need to hit on tomorrow, Tom, real quick, before we move on to the next thing, is, how much are we spending on our marketing? How do we determine like a marketing calendar? When should we be spending money on what's the return supposed to be? We need to put some numbers around this, don't we? Sounds like, Liz, I hate KPIs right now.
Okay, well, Liz has volunteered to do a bonus session for us tomorrow.
Do I look like the KPI queen? I do not.
It has nothing to do with KPIs, though, in terms of your marketing budget and stuff like this. All of this, just to refresh our memory, is about driving revenue.
Yeah.
And it's on the, so what do we need to do from a marketing standpoint to generate more revenue? And part of that is we need to get leads in order to top of the funnel so we can then convert them into quote sales and high frequency recurring revenue. And in the context of this, it really isn't a marketing budget, really isn't part of the model, but
Okay.
conversion rates certainly are.
All right. Well, maybe that's the KPI that we need then. How many?
We're going to be talking about over the next several days as to what are your conversion rates. Okay, you got leads, great, but how many leads can you turn into quotes, and how many quotes do you turn into sales, and what type of sales are they? Are they one time, or are they recurring? And do you really what type of sales do you want to have? And
Okay.
we're going to explain that high frequency recurring revenue is really what you want to shoot for.
I got you. So as far as how much money you should be spending on marketing, that depends on how much money you have to spend on marketing, right? That's going to come from your expense, that expense bucket that we talk about, right? After you pay your LDPR and you have some money in that bucket, whatever you spend there is not going to float down to
we can drill down into that, because we've got models that talk about your various marketing channels and what your spend is in each one, and what results you're getting out of each one, and actually calculating your cost per lead and all the way down to, lifetime value of customers by the various channels. I wasn't planning on going there, but if we want to spend another week on this, we can.
No, I don't want to spend another week, but maybe we could like at least pop up like a page and just show, because all of that is in Made Central, so we wouldn't really have to create it, Tom. Maybe you could just pop it up tomorrow and just show how some of the leads get measured and what is the return on investment. That's a really important metric to be looking at, so that you're not just spending money willy-nilly. Just because I wanted to say willy-nilly.
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 Well, but it's top of the hour, so
It is.
willy-nilly being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.